Why are you tired all the time? This is probably by far the number one complaint that I get when patients walk in the door. And typically they have been tired for days, months, years, decades without answers. And it is a big gap in medicine because especially in traditional medicine, when a patient walks in exhausted, we do a bunch of blood work. If we can't find a clear cause like a B vitamin deficiency or thyroid problem, then it becomes, well, you need to get more sleep or you need to work on your diet, which is good, both of which are very good advice, but it just doesn't cut it. So, and many times people will be trying to sleep and they just can't sleep. So here are some of the typical things that I've seen make a big difference in people that walk in, because the number one cause in exhaustion is mitochondrial dysfunction. We have just recently, there has been a test developed to test that. So that's something I'm very excited about. You'll hear more about that soon, but we haven't historically been able to test it. So when it comes to the mitochondria, they are the part of the cell that produces energy utilizing oxygen and electrons from the food we eat or the earth. And they get damaged by a lot of things like bad lighting, by super stress. They're very sensitive. They used to be their own bacteria, so they can sense the environment, what's going on around the cell, and they'll preserve energy if they think there's a stress. What does that mean? It means they shut down the production of ATP, which makes you feel good. So that is one key point, is how do we get those mitochondria be all clear that the stress is gone? Well, grounding, meditating, getting early morning sunlight. These are messages for your mitochondria to stop conserving the ATP so that you can feel better, you can have more energy. So that's one big piece. Remember, the mitochondrial, both the number of your mitochondria and the health of your mitochondria, also determined by the food you're eating. So you can get energy based on from fat primarily or from carbs, and having a mitochondria or a body that is metabolically flexible can give you more energy. That way you're not so dependent on what's going in your mouth. So working on taking carbs out, maybe doing a short bout of keto to train the body to also work off of fat can be very helpful in energy levels. That way, when you don't eat for a period of time because you're out and about or working, you won't get those extreme fatigue dips once you teach your body metabolic flexibility. There's also nutrient deficiencies that I've seen lead to a lot of fatigue, and that's partially because you need all these nutrients for the mitochondria to produce energy, but also there's many other steps in the body that your thyroid function, red cell capacity to carry oxygen, all the different things that you need to move your muscles day in, day out. B vitamins, especially, they're cofactors for so many steps in the body, and minerals, magnesium. If you don't have enough of these nutrients, your primary complaint is going to be fatigue, which is again something that most doctors, even though they mean well, don't have the capacity to or do not think to test. So, but some of the more common, again, iron, magnesium, trial of coenzyme Q10, B vitamins, they can also be depleted by meds. So if you're on medication and you're always tired, that can be a nutrient deficiency. There are ways to test your nutrients, and getting with a functional medicine doc will help that process, and then you can replace them. In general, a good quality multi, if you're super stressed, a methylated B complex, definitely extra minerals, and trial of coenzyme Q10 would be a great place to start. There's also the chronic stress that leads to cortisol imbalance. So when we're constantly living in fight or flight, and over time, our adrenals shut down. And when your adrenals shut down, guess what? What is the number one complaint? I'm exhausted. And it could be a wired but tired presentation where some of the day you're tired and then you'll peak at night, right when everybody's going to bed. That's a pretty classic presentation. And there's a lot of adrenal support, whether they're adaptogenic herbs or glandular adrenal support, that can help get some energy in those cases. But it's going to be the same point, that modulating the stress response is super important. So make sure if you've really struggled with this for a long period of time, you want to get some testing, whether it's something like a nutritional evaluation, nutrient panels, looking at what's happening in your gut, because a disbalanced microbiome can also zap your energy. So looking at your gut, looking at nutrient levels, making sure to look at the basics, hormonal and thyroid imbalances, taking care of mitochondrial function, organic acid testing, the new me-screen mitochondrial test that we'll talk about more soon. And then we can get some specific supplement replacements, and also a lot of things that are not supplements that can really help. So there's some things that are free. Get your hydration, like I talked about, 2 or 3 liters a day with get it structured. Add in fresh lemon, throw in some sea salt. That alone, I see help with fatigue almost immediately. Get outside with the morning sun, put your feet in the earth, rise with the sunrise. Just doing that again for after about 2 weeks, patients are dramatically better. So there's a couple of free things you can do. Throw in minerals, some of the basics I just talked about, that will help as well. So you could do a lot of this work on your own. And then if you're still struggling, and either way, remember that the answer to fatigue is not more caffeine. It can help in the short run and make things worse in the long run. The answer to fatigue, or how you should face your fatigue, is understand it's your body giving you a message. You're getting a message from your body: we're not happy, something's going on. And then you can try all these different steps, get with a partner practitioner that gets you, that listens to you, order some of these other tests, and then replace or make life changes. And I promise you will see improvement. So good luck.